can it be? Showing up with Tony T, yes, Ramon SEO. To the double T, befuddling these bookies like 1, 2, 3. They tapping out and we cashing out. It's plain to see. The morning scheme is the A-team, Mr. T. And I pity the fools who can't hang. Coming with real game is sort of a freight train. It's been reported bank rolls are easy to maintain. So get situated and listen to the picks. And it goes a little something like this.
And a pleasant good morning to you from Tony'sPicks.com. This is Ramon Scott. Welcome to the morning steam for Monday, January 15th, holiday Monday here in the U.S. And we've got a special treat today with 2 NFL playoff games, including the postponed game between the Steelers and the Bills late this afternoon from Orchard Park, New York. And the Bills are hosting the game. We'll be able to get this one off after, yesterday is, the postponement, if you will. And, what about yesterday's stunning results in the pro football playoffs? Detroit, not a stunner necessarily, getting that win, but just by a slim 1-point margin over the Rams. Great game last night. And also, of course, the big upset. Packers get off to that huge lead and go on to beat the Dallas Cowboys. What is going to happen at Big D? We're sitting on, waiting on another coach to be fired, possibly at this point. Maybe McCarthy can survive one more failure here, but, we'll just have to see about that. How did you guys do yesterday? And thank you for joining me today here on the show, where we will preview those 2 games along with a long NBA and NHL card. And I've got 3 college games that I've selected for today. So hello and welcome. And let's see who's stopping in. We'll get rolling with our show. Take a look. It's Thomas Bird. He was here first. He's reminding everyone, like and subscribe. Check me out in the Discord and all of our cappers that kind of hang out there making picks, talking sports betting today. And our Thomas is here today. Thomas also has some of his action ready to go here for you guys on screen. It looks like he's reviewing there. A great job, Thomas. Justin, though, has his stacks. Play of the day, Fred VanVleet today over points, rebounds, and assists. All right, and Kenny Jackson is here today as well. Good morning to Kenny. Jerry Norris stopping by. Great to see Jerry around. How you been, my friend? Nicholas Handy here today. Thomas Lewis, of course. And Ray Otachi. Maybe I have changed my name legally, but you don't talk about it. All right, Gamble. Kenny's going to go under in that Tampa game. Yeah, today, don't forget, don't want to forget about our late game on Monday night with the Eagles at the Bucks. Blake is here. And Salty. Oh, boy. What was Jerry Jones saying there in his post game? It said, I couldn't read, I saw the interview. I was trying to read his lips. I think he was saying, I'm going to fire the head coach. Not so many words. Oh, man, we got to get Gamble going. Hello to Timmy today. Hanging out with Timmy last night in random faraway chat rooms. Gamble's ready for the lock. We've got locks here today. I like the card. I think we'll have some good plays. Yes, of course. Yesterday here with the football games, we did uh, have in the early game there with uh, the Packers and Dallas. We did have a premium pick winner on the Green Bay Packers, and we also gave out the over here on the show yesterday. Want to say hello to Yes the Yellow is always nice to see you again. All right, let me make a little note here. Some action coming in, some steam. Hopefully, you guys are getting that steam in there in the Discord. Hey, Stephen Downey, good morning. Hello. Let me go over to Tony'sPicks.com real quick so we can get this show started. We've got to get rolling on a big show today, but I want to go over to our website, Tony'sPicks.com, where you'll find our premium picks. I'm going to give you some free winners here today, and Tony's got videos as well for today's action, but let's tell you about our premium picks, absolutely our best picks over at Tony'sPicks.com. And, well, take a look at the handicapper leaderboards, and appropriately, I'm on top of the handicapper leaderboards over the last 7 days here at Tony's Picks, fittingly, and with a 38-23 record over the last 7 days. I'm up 11 and a quarter units here, grinding it out, but finding my way to the top of the leaderboards. No big impact. Well, did have a couple big impactful days over the last 7 days. Get me on this top of this list. Joseph Schultz there, 14-6 record. OG Cappers VIP 67% over the last 7 days. Ruben Marlboro, come to Marlboro country. He's up 6 1/3 units over the last 7 days. And Collins Brown, 420 over the last 7 days at Tony'sPicks.com. For the last 30 days, it's Gene Got Picks here, top handicapper on the website over the last 30 days with a real strong winning percentage. He's up 21 2/3 units. Big impact for Gene so far on the site. Tim Irwin up there, 16 2/3 units. A hot handicapper here also is Mark Butterscotch Eubanks. Long-time chatter, found his way to Tony's Picks, and he's up 16 2/3 units over the last 30 days here. Good job, Butterscotch. Joseph Schultz up there, up nearly 16 2/3 units, and Ron Hahn is up 14.5 units. Great job, Ron. Doing an excellent job so far. The capper also hung out in the chat. Now he's here. So thanks, you guys. Hey, check out our premium picks over at Tony'sPicks.com. And for today, you'll see our handicappers, some packages here, including 3-packs, 5-packs, and 7-packs today, including a 7-pack from me here. You see, I'm up with a 7-pack of action for today in basketball. I've got 6 games starting early, including that early start. Noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, Ohio State and Michigan. That's in my 7-pack today. Pick it up for just $25. Got a holiday discount here. Explore my selections, my premium picks, and support me here on the channel. Get 7 plays for just $25, and my best plays that I have loaded up here at Tony'sPicks.com. Not including the football, but those are my plays here for the rest of the card, at least in my early action. May be able to add a few more today with today's busy card. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all premium pick packages. Click on the All Cappers tab, find the handicapper of your choice, click on their handicapper profile page, and that's how you get signed up. And use that promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20%. All right. Thanks for listening to that, everybody. Head back over and see if we have a few more people checking in, including Ninja here and Mike Allison as well. And Airplane Boop is here today, and so is Doubles. William Dryman here today. Great crew. We're ready to go with the show. And we're going to end up starting, I think, here in the NFL playoffs, of course. load up the graphics here, I think, a little bit. All right. We're going to finally get there in Orchard Park, New York for the Buffalo Bills and the Pittsburgh Steelers after a delay of a day. I guess 27 hours makes a big difference in the weather in Buffalo. Now, it will be cold, certainly. 1 degree, I heard, maybe, with a 19-degree wind chill factor. That's pretty good, actually, is what they're saying. uh, Probably wouldn't want to go out in the weather myself. Back in the day, I probably would go, but would I do it nowadays? I don't know. Anyways, the Steelers have won 3 straight games. They happen to coincide with Mason Rudolph's only 3 starts of the season. Pittsburgh comes in looking pretty good. Rudolph, 8-4-1 as an NFL starter. Now, this is his first playoff start for Rudolph, the former Oklahoma State quarterback. And uh, before Rudolph was in there, the Pittsburgh Steelers were averaging about 13.5 points per game over a 5-game span. But with Rudolph, things have really picked up. Now, Pittsburgh, you look at them here, they're a road dog. We could get into all that discussion with Tomlin being a road dog and how good this Steeler team is. On the road, of course, when getting points. It's really a Pittsburgh specialty. 22-12 against the spread in their last 34 games as a road underdog. 3-2 this year. It's been 7 years since the Steelers have won a playoff game. They've lost 4 straight, giving up an average of 42.8 points per game in the postseason. 4 of the last 5 Steelers games have gone over the total. And for Buffalo, they've won 5 straight. They did go 3-2 against the spread in those games, but close games, no doubt. The Bills have been able to run the ball pretty well. That's been a nice situation for them. I think that's why they're getting a lot of attention also now in the futures markets again as kind of the sneaky team in a way. I mean, they are at home here and could be so, obviously, again, but the Bills been rushing for 152 yards a game with Cook, a little bit of Johnson in there as well. The Bills have gone 4-1 at home in the playoffs over the last 3 seasons. They are a big 10-point favorite here, make no mistake. I don't know. See what you guys think. Seems pretty attractive. You do there. You could say that the weather could lead to some volatility. Now, reportedly, the weather it's starting to clear up. It may have been snowing even a little bit this morning, and there is still some snow in the forecast, but the reports are clearing conditions. So maybe it's 17 degrees and then a wind chill of 1 degree. I think I better get it right when I say it. I mean, this is the weather after all. Ken Jackson says it's -10 in Buffalo. No, he's saying he likes the Bills. Could be the weather, though. Hello to RBD here today. He had a good day yesterday. Yes, the yellow does take Pittsburgh here in this one. And what else? Bills first half under for our tops. All right. Gamble says he's got it at 39. What did I list it at here? Any change today or something? If anything, though, right? Look, 38.5. I'm already on record. I was on a pretty popular NFL show talking about what team that I was on and what side that I was on, and I was on the under. I was on the under in this game. I've got to think that the increased total here, getting pretty high here at 38.5 or whatever it is, still going to be bitterly cold. You have Pittsburgh. they should have a little bit of defense. They are the Pittsburgh Steelers after all. I think they can slow Allen here a little bit. I don't see an overwhelming situation for Buffalo matchup wise, except maybe at tight end with uh, uh, Kincaid and Knox. If anything, Knox is playing better than Kincaid. And, well, I wouldn't say better. I think they're both playing complementary at the tight end spot. And I kind of like the prices on Knox's props. Someone in our chat, I think, has Knox. Was it our chat? Knox to score the most touchdowns in the postseason? Who was that? All right, and Timmy Two Shoes thinks it could be a half tie at halftime. Maybe is that what he's saying there? Doubles says he takes under 18 in the first half. Again, remember when the weather was really bad? Too bad for some of those. Books have kind of revamped their rules a little bit. Not everyone gets a refund because of a 24-hour postponement. Sometimes some of the rules stipulate maybe even a week later that the game can be played. Some also have a site change. This is not, but no doubt gamble. But again, I am expecting clear conditions in this game now. You could still go down there, I believe, and help shovel snow for $20 if you guys are in Buffalo. $20 an hour. All right. Luis is here today. Hello, sir. Nice to have you. And before I show Gamble's comment, I want to read it. Make sure it doesn't say something kind of fade over in times go by. I don't know. Mike Allison's on the under with me here in this one. And yeah, Thomas. Well, I think we talked about the total here in this game. Because, it did go all the way down, when the weather was really bad to 35, 34 and a half, and then postpone it, and then all of a sudden they bump it back up. So it does show that the weather should be more clear today. It was basically a line move based on the weather. No kind of injuries here or anything. Hey, Luis is here, and he's got to play for us right away with the Bulls and the Cavs under. All right. And let's see. Anything else? RVD with that weather. Timmy says it will be halftime tie. Yeah, look, Josh Allen has played a few snow games in his Buffalo's played big time games here in the playoffs. So in cold conditions against the Patriots, for example. Jeff says, what about the winds today? Windy. I mean, for Buffalo, could be windier. We know it can be windier in Buffalo than this, but 15 miles an hour could certainly, in already a place. It's going to be tough to kick field goals in the postseason. So I'm going under as well, Fernando. Hey, Steelers are going to have their own set of problems offensively, I would think, against the Buffalo defense here, getting anything done. Now, we certainly will try to establish some type of control in the run game with Harris, with Warren as well. Those guys have done well, but in the passing game, oh man, I cannot like this matchup for Rudolph. In fact, I like Rudolph enough, but I just don't know against this receiving core and Buffalo's defense with Deontay Johnson, Pickens. Can these guys do enough? And I just don't know if they can, but all right. Thomas looks like he's laying the points here. Steelers and under for Thomas. Rodney here today. Hello, sir. All right. I think that's going to do it, I guess. I know one angle they'll be talking about, and I know it's been talked about, but McDermott and Mike Tomlin, pretty familiar with each other. They were roommates in college. Can you imagine that? Is that amazing? Two college roommates end up going on to be NFL head coaches. Maybe there is a little something to it to a certain extent. Um, Meeting someone of a like mind, and but that is really interesting. That of all the world, yeah, they're involved in football early in their lives, but to end up coaching against one another in the football game of the playoffs, and that's true too, Thomas. And not only that, a lot of other things. And what a comparison you could make between the franchises, the Steelers, the Packers, kind of. Buffalo's won 3 of the last 4 meetings. Steelers lost here in a regular season meeting last year, 38-3. But Steelers have done a great job this year. Now, look, with the Browns laying an egg, a little bit sketchy to a certain extent. I mean, I said that I thought the AFC North was the best division. When you think about what their teams have done this year, right? With the top seeded Ravens, with these Steelers having a good season after almost a disaster to a certain extent at quarterback and other things that went wrong for the Steelers. You had the Browns had an incredible season until it fizzled out at the end, so that's a disappointment. And even the Bengals, remember, no Burrow most of the season, and they finished with a good record, right? What were they, the best last place team since the new division format or something to that effect, or just a good record for the Bengals, even though they came in last place. So, all right, taking the under in this one, and I'm gonna stick with it here. Had it on another show. I'm gonna have it in a premium, my pick. So hopefully, I don't know. Maybe you got a little taste of. I don't know if I kind of gave it away. So Campbell says, does Tomlin go over in the postseason? That might take a little long. Let's keep moving. Yep. All right. Ninja says, take the over here. Fade the public. Oh, gosh. I don't want to be all public-y. But yeah, looks like about almost 75% of the action on the under when it comes to the total right now. At one of the reporting sites, and another one has it at least about 3 of every 5 tickets going on the under. All right. That's a look at that one. Enjoy that one. But let's get to the night game now and talk about the Eagles and the Buccaneers. The Eagles favored on the road. Can't believe, maybe I just deal with the wrong Eagles fan. They're so myopic. The Eagles here, though, favored on the road, -3, and the total here, 43.5. There's some 2.5s juiced up a little bit out there. Maybe people still willing to grab a little Tampa Bay here, but for the Eagles, certainly the pressure. I mean, it just weighs on you at this point, doesn't it? All the pressure with the fading here of the Eagles late this season, after looking so strong this season and for most of the year being considered at least a Super Bowl contending team. They are still, I would guess, because they're in the postseason, but it feels like they've fallen by the wayside to teams like San Francisco, Detroit, and even Green Bay now to a certain extent with their great quarterbacking performance. Speaking of quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts, I will just continue to say about his injury. When I first saw it happen, it was startling to see him on the sidelines holding up his finger the way. I mean, of course, he was kind of in a way, not flipping off the camera, but he held his finger up and it looked, the knuckle was like pressed in. It was like a dislocation. And even if you pop that, I mean, it had to be massively swollen. He came back into the game, but it just looked, and the timing was bad too, considering in last week's game, but able to get it done, able to, be okay, I guess. The Eagles have lost 5 of their last 6 games. They've failed to cover the spread in all 6 of those games. Philly, in the last 7 weeks, they've given up an average of 31 points per game. They've been really showing no defense. Now, that's the thing that's been so interesting to me, is the fact that Philly's defense is so porous to a certain extent. That's what we've been talking about, is how bad the defense has been, and the most popular sentiment in this game kind of feels like the under from the public, from even the talking heads here, maybe a little bit, because maybe that's how Tampa Bay has got it done. The 3-time defending AFC South champions now, with a home game again here, playoff tested. The Buccaneers have been in the play. We know that they won with Tom, but they've continued to win a couple more titles now, 3 in a row here, division champions. So the Tampa Bay has been about as solid as they come, man. Really. Yes, the worst division, 9-8 this season. I get all that. But they struggled against good teams, no doubt. 1-5 straight up against the teams that are that made the playoffs this season. Tampa Bay 10-5-1 their last 16 games as a home underdog, and of course won that pandemic Super Bowl with Tom against the Chiefs, but still been able to, maintain this situation with Todd Bowles in his coach here. Now Bowles is just 0-1 in the postseason as a coach, and the NFC South teams didn't do that well as underdogs outside of the division this year, going 10-16 against the spread. These two teams did meet back in week 3, and in that one the Eagles won 25-11 as a 5-point favorite. The Eagles at that time outgained the Bucs 472-174. That was a lifetime ago. Tampa Bay has won the 4 previous meetings before that. All right. Road favorites. 5 seeds who are road favorites over 4 seeds are 5-2 against the spread. Should be noted here. Let's see your comments. Ray is on the under here. Kenny Jackson will lay it with the Eagles. And Gamble. He'll gamble. He'll lean under with... like I said, I didn't finish that thought, right? So everyone, maybe I could handicap or analyze the game a little bit. So the Eagles are supposedly, the defense has been absolutely terrible, right? Now the Buccaneers, I get where they're at. Maybe they're not perceived to have a great offense here, and maybe that's why. Maybe the Eagles defense will be. Why wouldn't the Eagles have a tough time with the Buccaneers if their offense is struggling so much? Their defense is struggling so much. I got Baker Mayfield. Okay, I'll give you that one, but the Eagles are very bad. I mean, they're kind of the worst in the way, the way it's going. If you lop off the first half of the season, pretty much. The Eagles are having just awful, awful time. So why wouldn't this be a great matchup for some, I don't know, borderline elite wide receiver, borderline top-level wide receivers? Mike Evans, Godwin. maybe Godwin's disappointed to a certain extent this season, but Palmer as well, and their tight end. No, not a great matchup for tight ends. Again, one thing they can do is guard tight ends a little bit, but more so, I'm interested in the balance that the Buccaneers have had to offer. That's I think, making their offense a little bit more effective. One of the big breakout stars this season has been Rachaad White, especially over the last 6 weeks. Now, maybe his production has tailed off. He only had 42 yards against New Orleans, but he had 4 receptions in that game. He had 75 yards in the win over Carolina. Um, 74 total yards against Jacksonville, and his big game, he had 100 yards rushing against Atlanta in a road win. He had 139 yards of total offense in that win at Green Bay when things were hot for the Bucs. So I think Rachaad White is probably one of the most overlooked talents here. He's doubled his yardage this year from his rookie season, and I think he's a key player here today. R. Tom says +3 and over. And yes, Yellow questioning in the chat saying, oh, maybe he was talking about doubles there with the Eagles on the money line. And here's the one thing, I'm not going to debate with Yes to Yellow here. Says lay the points. So obviously, last night we know that the favorite only won by 1 point. But here's one thing that I think Yes to Yellow can agree on, and probably goes right up his alley here as far as kind of his comment there. But in the NFL postseason, almost long term here, when taking underdogs, it's most advisable really just to take the underdogs on the money line and not worry about taking the points. Now, maybe we're just accustomed to it. Maybe I've even been doing it and should be more of a gamble a little bit. So, yeah, gamble. And remember, the thing about the Monday to me is the more rest has helped those defenses a little bit. But I'm going over as my play. I've already given it out in accordance. When I was on one of those shows and I said, I'm going over, and I think the host said, you're the only one going over. Everyone else is going under. And I make the case that I've got, you know, really outstanding wide receivers going up against what appears to be a very, very porous defense right now, and a great matchup to me for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Maybe Baker is your shortcoming, but nonetheless, it doesn't stop him from throwing the ball, from rolling out, from being Baker Mayfield. Again, I think Baker, maybe one of the reasons why he's felt so much more comfortable with Tampa, other than it maybe works to his style a little bit, or they've let him but pardon me, guys. Thank you. But part of his style, right, is being able to create a little bit and gamble a little bit. And he's gotten to a point in his career where maybe he, has underachieved, certainly from being a top pick. We all know that. But again, I always say that, when everyone gets hot and bothered a little bit about, these top picks, they always end up failing. And yeah, Baker Mayfield probably is never going to live up to the expectations, but it's still hard to go into the National Football League and play X number of years, even if it is with 5, 6, 7 teams, who knows? In the end, if you end up looking at how many yards Baker Mayfield will end up passing for in his career, and you look at his first-round draft choice, well, probably had a pretty okay career in the end. Made a lot of money. Did we really think Baker... I guess we get carried away in college. We see some of these guys. I hope I'm getting all your plays right in here. No, A.J. Brown's not playing. That's another huge deal. Now, it is good news for DeAndre Swift. We saw his injury status improve as well. Also, Devontae Smith probable Darius Slay, probable Cam Jurgens, probably one of the most important guys on this report, probable. So an improved situation for the Eagles, considering, yes, Brown being out is a major, major deal for a team that certainly has plenty of issues elsewhere at wide receiver. Now, Devontae, look, he could have a monster game. We know he can have monster games. He earlier this season, the game against Buffalo, 7 receptions and a touchdown, was strong. He had a nice game against San Francisco, but they were getting blown out here. But Devontae, remember, he missed the last game with an ankle sprain and left the Arizona game early. So he's been banged up a little bit. To me, Jones, I'm happy for Julio to really make a contribution. That has been awesome to a certain extent. And hope Julio, look, the Arizona game, who saw it, right? 2 touchdowns for Julio out of nowhere. But last week, 4 targets, 2 receptions. What could we really expect from Julio? And then when you go back from there, Quez Watkins and Olamide Zaccheaus. I mean, what are we getting into here all of a sudden? I mean, that, maybe over, because you've got to use Devontae Smith, right, Tone? And the running game, Tampa run defense, that's their strong point. So I think they can, Eagles run game have a little problem. I'm okay. All right, you guys. Let me move on though from that one. I'm taking the over because I like the matchup for the Tampa Bay passing game. I think Mike Evans is pretty awesome. I think Godwin's awesome. If the Eagles are really look, maybe they finally put it all together. Maybe all this pressure, all this tumbling out of control. The Eagles fans know they can talk it up all they want. Oh, they'll turn around right here, no doubt. This is it. I mean, whatever you saw out there for the last 6 to 8 weeks was a fluke. This team still got it all. I can go, up and down for all the arguments that they can make, but it looks like a snowball effect here right now. All right, you guys had a lot of comments. I was talking, and all right. Fly, Eagles, fly. Mm-hmm. All right. I hope I got all the comments in there. But again, and R. Thompson's with me. But again, I'll look to go over here. Pressure's going to be on the Eagles, and they're not going to, I don't think they should look to the ground game to establish it necessarily. And, oh, hey, Tom, if it does go under, I would think it will be a Tampa Bay victory, quite frankly. But I've got it over, and I think Tampa Bay can have a pretty, again, look at as if, home, they're at they have all this experience, right? All this Eagle, it's been a disaster. And maybe in Tampa can even find. Okay, let's move on. We got to get a long show here. Let's move on to some NBA because it's a day card. It's a holiday here at another a famous holiday for NBA. Really, the NBA, remember, used to be the sport on this holiday to watch back in the day. So let's get into today's NBA action. It's fantastic. Rockets and the Eagles. Rockets and the Sixers will start us off here in this one today with the Rockets on the road here against Philadelphia. Philadelphia's won 7 out of the last 8 meetings between these two teams. Meet twice a year. The total's also gone over in 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams. Houston has gone over in 5 of their last 7 games on the road. You got, of course, the Sixers, a big favorite here. You always want to keep abreast of the injury report with these guys. right now, but everything kind of looks in the clear. There's some 7.5s out there. Embiid is questionable, but I think the line kind of reflects his participation. Feels pretty likely here today. We'll see. No Kenny Lofton Jr. today. No Bob Cove. These guys have been out a little bit. DeAnthony Melton also out. Oubre probable. Not much going on. Eason still out for the Rockets, but hey, the Rockets, well, they can compete, no doubt. But man, this might be a little bit of a tougher matchup, actually, especially if Embiid is in there. Now, one of those that says, hey, I don't follow the injuries that much. That's all reflected in the line. When the, how about the argument, like everybody always says, and I'm a baked in the cake kind of guy, right? But they say, here's the thing, like today, once Embiid is ruled in, I mean, the to me right now, if you want the Sixers, you're on them now. Because once Embiid's ruled in, hey, I'm not talking to you, Siri. Once Embiid is ruled in, this one probably will tick up another half a point to a point, just because of that doubt that he might be out of this one. And of course, could go the other way too. All right. Yeah, no, Thomas. But we do celebrate and honor, right? So let's see here. Oh, here's Ray with the Rockets. And they haven't been covering as well as they were early on in the season. In fact, the Rockets have covered just 3 of their last 7 games. So, and let's see what Thomas says here. Houston Rockets are disappointing. Philadelphia. All right. Let's see here. Chad's got a blowout here. Yeah, I probably do too, Chad. That's where I was headed. I think we're going to be on the same page in this one. And hey, Chad, if anybody, I've been, hot on the Rockets part of the season, but I think this recent skid is a little bit reflective. And remember, Philadelphia's been so terrific at home, especially as a favorite. They are 14-6 at home against the spread. Houston just 6-10 on the road. All right. And Tom Trewicki, nice to see you here tonight. Yes, last second shot by Dame last night. FTW. How'd we do yesterday in the NBA? I'll tell you how we did yesterday in the NBA. With 5 games, we had a winner. In the Indiana, we had Indiana against Denver with those points. On the show, we also had the Clippers and the Timberwolves under here on the show. We also had that over in the Kings and the Bucks here on the show. We also had a premium pick winner on the Sacramento Kings. And in the late game, we had the over. Suns and Blazers 4-1 yesterday with our premium picks here. I mean, with our free picks, whatever they are. R. Thompson on Philly, Thomas Lewis on Philly. Look, first look to me was going to be the Rockets, of course, as a dog, but even I can't get with the challenge today. I'm going to have to go with Philly. All right. Let's move on now. Oh, a few more comments here. So I see Jeff says it too. Chad said it too. What if Embiid is out? I should say take my word for it. Again, I'm saying he is questionable, and I think he is leaning, in my observation, leaning on the more likely to play side to me. So maybe you guys feel that way too, because you're saying that. But you guys have a lot of emphasis on Embiid, obviously. But would that sway you if he was out and the line dipped to 5 points, 5.5, whatever it would be, 5.5? Or are you still all Sixers? All right. Oh, look at Justin. All right. Thomas says he's already ruled in, so I haven't seen that just yet. But obviously, with the game time just 3.5 hours away or so. All right, let's continue to move on with a lot of games today. Hello to Biggie. I see the sensor. I see the word Cowboys, and I see custard, and I just want some ice cream. All right. Uh, Pelicans and the Mavs here. The Pelicans on the road favorite here at Dallas. So obviously that kind of makes you wonder what's going on right now with the stars of the game because we saw uh, Zion. He is probable. Ingram probable. That is a little bit surprising. Didn't he re-injure his not Achilles? I mean, that's an injury you don't want to re-injure, but thought he had left the game temporarily last time out or something. But nonetheless, Luca is doubtful here. That's been the big news. So we just automatically go with New Orleans, right, guys? Big star out. We just always gravitate towards the other team. That's what I see from a lot of you guys in our chat. I don't know why you guys do that, but you guys love big stars apparently, or base all your bets on them. It feels like. All right. Oh, Joseph, sorry, Mr. Play there, brother. On the other game, he said over in the Sixers game. My graphic machine is stuck here. I think I can't even show your comments, you guys. I don't know. I feel awkward here. There we go. Hello, you guys. Sorry about that. I was I don't know if you guys even. I was like, I can't get the comments on the screen, but actually, we had lost our connection. So we're back. Thank you for uh, 6 dozen of you hanging out and staying in there through a little 30-second spell there. We're back. Let me keep it going here with the Pelicans and the Mavericks, talking about Luca being out. I don't know where we left off, but Luca out. Lively, questionable. Derek Jones, doubtful in this one. Exum is out for Dallas and for New Orleans. Zion, probably. I see your comments there, so we must have been on the air still a little bit here. Rodney says line is moving up, so I think we know Luca doubtful, 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 and we don't. They don't usually mess around with his status too much. I don't believe. All right, Mavs money line here for yes to yellow. Chad says if no Luca and no Lively, he can only look at the Pelicans. He'll need to look at the injury report though. Like I said, Chad. I mean, uh, our man Chad, but it really a lot of you know always relying on those stars, my brother. All right, what else? Uh, Justin with the over here, and is the total? Do I have the total right? I'm back. I'm back. Mavericks and the points. Okay. Oh, Jeff says under maybe with no Luca. Okay. Hey, New Orleans has won 8 of their last 9 games on the road and covered 6 of their last 7 on the road. Dallas has won 7 of the last 9 meetings at home against the Pelicans, frequent opponents, certainly. The total's gone under in 4 of the last 5 games here when these two teams have met in Dallas. Gamble's ready for some locks. They're all locks. All my picks are locks. I'm not that guy. I'm not like, well, we don't give out locks. All of them are locks. All right, Joseph here, Dallas and under. All right. Oh, Gamble. Hey, can I get macaroni and cheese at this hour or no? Going to Panera. All right. Oh, maybe I'll make the call. You know what? I probably agree with Chad again. Actually, I think the show play here is actually. Let me see though. If I Chad gave up a good play, and maybe I can just gravitate towards. I like the over actually. Even without with Luca. Can I? Is that looking? Does that look bad if I do that? No doubt about it. And, I would think, look, if you're looking about today's game, right, you got to look at who steps in. So, but what Chad said, what Chad, you might be brushing it here is that in general, what Chad, if I can interpret what Chad is saying, books do not take into account when the stars go out, they do not make a big enough adjustment. When Chad sees a star go out, he often will go against that, and in general say the books do not make a good big enough adjustment. They do not adjust strongly enough. That's the feel that I get from your great capping. So I would think though the matchup today, who mentioned it in the chat, Kyrie does kind of takes over all the um, takes over the point guard role. So all right, do I have it right, brother? I don't know. Okay. Thomas is still a fast-paced game. Oh yeah, but it's not a great. New Orleans plays good defense against the guards. We look one more time. I want to just we got plenty of people on the side here, plenty of people on the Pelicans, and man, it sounds like you guys are on the under, but I'm going to take the over here. Okay, with no Luca. Okay, let's move on though and take a look here with what's next. Oh, Magic and Knicks. Hey, nice game here. The Magic and the Knicks right now, no doubt. Magic on the road getting 7 here, and the total 220-ish. Oh, it's gone down for sure on some widely reported steam coming in here. So let's put it up there with the Knicks. And now it's 7 or so against a Magic here. New York has won 7 of their last 8 games at home right now. Total's gone under in 4 of Orlando's last 5 games currently. Orlando pretty good against the spread, certainly 12-9 against the spread on the road. The Knicks, though, 9-5-1 against the spread at home. They've done a pretty good job. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone under, and these two teams have already met this season back on December 29th, a 117-108 victory for the Madge at home, winning by 9 as a 1-point underdog against the Knicks. See if you guys are ready with this one a little bit. And let's see here. Oh, Ari Gold, hello. Nice to see you, sir. All right. Oh, man. Okay, maybe for you guys, this one maybe not as attractive here today, or I'm just going a little too fast. But I know I'm gonna. I look, that steam is pretty serious on the under. I liked it coming in, and probably will do it again. I don't know. I think I might. Yeah, I'm gonna take Orlando, quite frankly, plus the points here. I think that under probably gonna make my card here. It's already gone down 1.5 in this one, so I don't know what I can do about it, but I like the under in this game. But I'm going to give out the Magic as my play. Maybe I get the challenge going here a little bit with Chad, or let's see, Thomas likes the Knicks. Yes, Ari talked about the Nuggets game. All right, I'm taking the Magic as my play, but I think I just gave one away there to a certain extent. I like this game under today. If I had to look at these, and again, a little bit of maybe a little bit of injury news here to talk about. Fume is here today. All right, Chad's with me in this one. Chad and I. Jalen Brunson questionable, and I don't know if it looks that good actually for Brunson. Magic Wendell Carter is questionable. Gary Harris, he's out. Franz Wagner out still. So Magic a little bit healthy, a little bit more bodies in there than the last couple of days. Chad's on Magic, airplane boot Magic. All right, keep on moving here with the Pistons and the Wizards in a barn burner tonight. Today, 3 Eastern and noon Pacific with this one. And well, hopefully you got those other games. A football game be coming on a little bit after this, but not a great matchup here. Pistons and Wizards. Wizards have won 5 straight meetings against Detroit. Washington has also won 5 straight meetings at home against Detroit. Those are not the same meetings, but over the span here over the last couple of years, Washington's had a pretty notable advantage over Detroit. Total has gone under in 9 of the last 10 meetings at Washington between these two teams. 9 of the last 10 under between these two. But Detroit has gone over in 7 of their last 8 games on the road this season. Detroit has not been a great spread team for sure so far, 15-23, but neither have the Wizards. They've been favored just once this season, and the Wizards did not cover the spread in that game. But maybe they can here. What do you guys have in this one? Look, this series is a dead solid under, but man, Detroit starting to struggle. Obviously, here since that victory, they did cover against the Rockets last time out, but they failed against the Spurs in what might be considered kind of a similar game, although that game was at home. Washington's off a win. A big surprise. They crushed Atlanta by 30-some points. I think, the other night to end their losing streak. So, but laying 6 points, that doesn't feel very comfortable. My indicators say Washington, but who wants to do that? I'll probably just go on the total. Last 4 out of last, what did I say? 9 of the last 10? Oh man, I don't know. I would think over still in this one with this ridiculous number at 241. It's down to 240.5 here, maybe even down to 5.5 right now. But Detroit, talk about this. But Detroit 14-6 to the over on the road, 6-3-1 to the over in their last 10 games. Washington 9-7 to the over at home. Pistons spread and the over. Chad says Washington will be able to crush them here as the woes continue for Detroit. And well, we've seen, Detroit have other issues with Cunningham being out. You do have Bogdo questionable as well. Looks like the Pistons are getting ready to trade. We had the news with the trade yesterday with Bagley heading out, right? Or the trade, the trade that came down with Bagley. So there are guys out for both teams involved. So, all right. Anything else? Was on one. I abbreviate Washington WAS. So I'm like, Washington on Washington. It's a Washington on Washington. Was on Washington. He said in that one. Yeah. All right. Thomas says, this is a great game, Ramon. Come on. This is NBA basketball. Get with the program here. All right, I'll take the over here in this one. All right. Next up, I think better games are ahead. Come on, let's be real here. Oh, maybe not. Scott Scotting. Hawks here -8 against the Spurs today. That's all right. The Hawks, big favorite here. Maybe they'll be comfortable. They took some widely reported steam here just as I was coming on the air, and now Atlanta has moved to. Well, they're down to a 7.5 point favorite, so maybe a little bit of comeback here on the Spurs. The total's up to 246.5. Really? I get it. Maybe it's one of those. Look, when we've seen these totals uh, climb up, usually the move's been right, but I don't know. The Spurs are kind of having some offensive issues, aren't they? Of late, I mean, I know they have big time issues. Everything's an issue right now with the Spurs to a certain extent. Atlanta's gone over in 18 of their last 23 games. They've been the massive over, except for the Pacers, of course. But 6 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams have gone over. The Spurs have covered the spread in 5 straight games and have gone 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games on the road. Atlanta, though, 3-14 against the spread at home. They're the worst. They're 9-29 against the spread. I mean, they're terrible against the spread. So, but they, took some steam. But maybe the comeback here on the Spurs is what people are kind of looking at. See what you guys have to say with this one. We'll spend too much time on this one. Here's our tops on the Spurs. Chad says, just got to keep playing the Spurs until further notice. And Thomas says, you got to take a look at Wemby. Still having some issues here. Missing some time, but I think we're going to get Wemby. I think that was just a rest spot for him. Atlanta's the one with a little bit of concerns here, I would think, in this one right now. Wesley Matthews is out. Yeah, Chad says, what is that record again, Ramon? Can you repeat that? 3-14. 3-14 against the spread. And, laying points, you don't want that with Atlanta. But as a favorite, they are 4-16, I believe, against the spread as a favorite. Now, the Spurs is a favorite of money, but they're not a favorite here, obviously. Believe it or not, the Spurs have been favored 3 times this season. They covered each time. Rodney likes the Spurs here in this one. And Chad said, they are hot with sharps, maybe. Airplane boop, Spurs. Here's Timmy Two Shoes. What is Timmy saying in this one? Pistons, Wizards, and Spurs. Pistons and Wizards and Spurs. Is that a real prop? Can I get? All right. And Chad says, no, I'm fading Atlanta, not playing the Spurs. Fair enough. Yeah. But still on the Spurs there a little bit, right? In this one, Steven says Spurs money line, maybe? All right. We have a lot of opinion on the sides in there, but I'm going to also take a look at the side. And I've got the Spurs here today against Atlanta. And no doubt that bad spread record, you're laying points, big stars back in. Let's give the Spurs, they've covered 1 billion games in a row, don't forget, right now. I don't know how many it is. Is it 5, 6? They've covered a lot of games in a row. The Spurs right now are covering every single game. Hawks are not. They did when they upset Philly, but they're losing and failing. Losing and failing. Okay. That might be my next book. Here's the Warriors and the Grizzlies in this one, and you have the Warriors apparently are favored on the road by 7.5 points. Now Desmond Bain, oh, bad news. You just feel bad for these guys a little bit, and their fans. Total here to 227, but looks like Desmond Bain is going to be out 6 weeks now with an ankle injury. So that sucks too, no doubt. And that's going to be trouble here. But the Warriors, come on. If anything, I don't know. These Grizzlies, they're kind of gutsy to a certain extent. I think there might be that type of team to rally around. These injuries might be a little bit too much here, but still, you don't want to lay. It doesn't feel like you want to lay any points with this Golden State club right now. They're pretty awful too. So, yeah, and talk about some of the stuff here today, and no doubt, Draymond. We did see Thomas asks, and Justin answered, and Draymond, he is probable for this game. They called it conditioning, right? Oh, he's got to, we're good. Come on. You're just taking your time getting this guy back in the line. We'll see. We'll see. Who isn't going to be, I don't know. I'm kind of waiting. I hope Dre does something crazy in the first game. But look, it's only when he's in a rage, right? Does anything really happen? And yeah, he's a, you know, all right. Oh yeah, Chad can't lay it. R. Thompson though might lay it here. He says Warriors. I think that means they're just Warrior. Let's at least talk about a few trends maybe with the matchup, even though it is uh, missing some of the key parts certainly for the Grizz in this one. All right. For Memphis, they have won 7 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams. They've also covered in Memphis, won 7 of the last 8 in Memphis, and also 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games at home against Memphis. Golden State has gone over in 7 of their last 8 games, and the total's gone over in 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams in Memphis. Now, Golden State is 11-6 against the spread on the road, but as a favorite, just 6-15-1, mostly at home, but still. They've been okay as a favorite. Memphis just awful against the spread, 4-14 against the spread at home. As an underdog, 11-14. So Chad says if Draymond plays, he'll lead the Grizzlies and the points. Well, it seems like he is definitely going to be in there, it feels like, tonight. And, glad to see Chad's kind of a chemistry guy, too, a little bit. Maybe Dre is a double reverse chemistry guy on his first game back. All right. Let's get maybe a few more opinions, but I'll go ahead and make the call here now on this one. There was some widely reported steam on the over. I don't think that, and you see it talking about it right there. Look, it says already. Oh, under 227, steaming downward at DK. Okay, yeah, 227, 226.5 right now. So, look, the first steam that I saw, the widely reported steam went over. I don't like that steam at all. Anyways, I'm taking the Grizzlies here plus the points. Hopefully these guys rally around a little bit. I'm never laying it right now with the Warriors. This could be a struggle just to get there. And if the Sharps want to take the over, good for them. Maybe I better get on this one early, but I might be going premium in this one actually. All right. Bulls and Cavaliers in this one. You got the Cavs favored here, minus 4 and the total 221 or so. This one continues to go higher right now, no doubt. Looks like to me sneaking up here. Some widely reported steam did come in on the over in this game overnight. Chicago's won 4 of their last 5 games. They continue to build a little bit on a slow start. Cleveland has won the last 5 meetings between these two teams and covered the spread in 4 of the last 5 meetings here between the two teams in Cleveland. Total has gone over in 4 of Chicago's last 5 games overall. They're also 11-7 to the over on the road. They haven't been a great spread team, 7-10-1 against the spread. I think these teams are kind of nondescript this season as far as a spread success, if you will. All right, and for Cleveland, let's see, Ty Jerome, he'll be out of this one. Patrick Williams, questionable for the Bulls. I don't know if there's a lot here. We know the Cleveland long-term injuries here right now at this point, still hanging around. It's been a rough season, actually, and they still have managed 22 wins. Bulls are playing a lot better. Maybe this line could feel a little bit low to a certain extent. I think, it has me interested possibly here in a favorite. What do you guys have in the chat? Nothing, it looks like, for you guys in this one. So I'm just going to take the Cleveland Cavaliers. I'm going to lay 4 points. Got to lay 4 here, no doubt, with Cleveland today. I'll take them here at home. Hopefully I'm still on the air because I'm not getting anything in the chat. But I'll go ahead and take Cleveland. Hope you guys are still with me. I'll find out, I guess. That's how it happened last time. I talked for like 15 seconds and I was not even on the air. And I like to save my words. Okay. Oh, there's Thomas says, that's what I say, Thomas. Oh, I don't want to give it away, but I did take the total in this. If you get that premium package, go ahead and get that premium package. But in my write-up, I talked about how well Allen has been playing. Maybe I could talk like this: how well Jarrett Allen is playing right now over the last month, especially. It seems like really, really strong play from Jarrett Allen, kind of stepping up for these guys who have been out, especially Mobley. To see Thomas there. Ready for Mobley to get back, but all right. Give me the Cavs here in this one. Boston and Toronto. The Celtics have always been a traditional team to play. I can remember plenty of Celtics games on MLK Day. They used to play the MLK. This was back in the 80s, I want to say, or in early 90s, I want to say late night, that they'd play the MLK game like on network, like on CBS. It was like CBS and big deal, the MLK Day game. I always remember was a big deal. But now it's a lot of games on the holiday. There'd be only a couple, and it was always a big deal to be on like the network. Okay, Cavs and Raptors, Celtics and Raptors here in a big one. At this point, Boston's won 11 of the last 12 trips here into Toronto. You talk about, it's so hard to go. Oh, we got the Celtics at the double at there on the graphic. You guys saw that? There we go. All right. The Celtics certainly not great against the spread on the road, 7-11-2 against the spread on the road. Toronto's been covering pretty strong of late, but Boston's won 5 straight meetings against Toronto, 11 of the last 12 here, as I mentioned, in Toronto. Toronto's gone over in 5 straight games. They've gone over in 8 of their last 10, 12-16 to the over overall. But just note this, they are 8-8 over-under at home this season. So a lot of their over has been coming on the road, but Boston, they're an over team as well. 21-16 to the over as a favorite. 4 of the last 5 meetings here in Toronto, which, as we said, Boston's been dominating. 4 out of the last 5 meetings in Toronto between the two teams have gone under. These two teams have already met 3 times this season. Of course, all Boston wins, but Toronto did get the money in each of the last 2 games. They lost at Boston on the 29th of December by just 2 as a 5-point dog. And at home here, they lost 108-105 as a 9-point underdog back in November. So can you get on the Toronto Raptors here today? Some widely reported steam did come in on the over in this one. I'm reporting right now Celtics could be 7.5. It looks like it's only moving at this point to Boston. Mostly 7s out there, but a little bit of juice on the 7 or 7.5. And the total now is down big time here to 242. So despite that widely reported over steam, again, that's just a line service sending it out when the line actually moved. And it did move to as high now as 244, but now we're seeing it down, and it was as low as 237.5 to start, interestingly enough. And well, that's probably the way I'm going to go. I think there's no room. I think there's plenty of room to breathe here for this total. Rich said it's down to 242. Justin's going over, so I think we got a disagreement. Thomas is going over as well. I'm going under. I'm going under in this one. Yeah. Look, Boston does pretty well in this series. I know it's tough to lay points. I don't know if I even want to do it necessarily, but Thomas Bird, good comment here. Since that trade, Quickly's been the key, but Toronto's defense has decreased. Of course, they were kind of it's decreased. Thomas, you're being generous, right? I mean, it's I think it's, I think it's decreased a lot. Just it's still decent, right? But it was so much better, it feels like. All right, see if I want to look at some projections maybe on this game, but I think I'll just have to move on from it. But you guys were mentioning it, so yeah, look, just a real bad matchup for guys like Barrett and Barnes and Siakam, right? Bad matchup. Brown questionable here. Still, yeah, down. Brown questionable. Otto Porter out. Podol still out. All right, that brings me to my play, and it is on the under. Okay, gamble Celtics first quarter. Heat and Nets. The Nets are favored here at home by 2 points. And the total is 220 for sure. It's gone up, the Heat and the Nets total. Up to 220 here in this one. All right. Maybe because Miami has gone under in 5 straight games on the road. 4 out of the last 5 meetings here in Brooklyn between these two teams have gone under as well. But Brooklyn's gone over in 5 straight games at home. What are you going to do? Brooklyn has won 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams. A good series, certainly, for the Brooklyn Nets against Miami. The teams have already met this season several times. Brooklyn won the last game, 112-97 here in Brooklyn, covering the spread back on November 25th. Miami won at home, getting the money in a 7-point win, minus 3.5. But Brooklyn did win in Miami, 108-105 as a 7-point dog back on November the 1st. Now, of course, the Heat, we want them as a dog. We don't necessarily like him as a favorite. And at 11-8 against the spread for Miami on the road, not necessarily an overwhelming choice as a dog, but Brooklyn has not been covering numbers of late at all. They still are 12-6 against the spread at home, and laying a pretty small number here right now, obviously. The question, of course, for you guys, it probably would be Jimmy Butler. You guys rely on those stars. I would imagine with our crew, Butler in, we're on Miami. Butler out, we're off Miami. I don't care if he's in or out. I'm on the Heat. Now, of course, the line will be adjusted. I mean, not on the. I'm sorry. I'm on the Nets, you guys. Don't want to say the wrong thing I like the Nets, of course. Come on. Sorry, chat. I didn't mean to say the wrong thing. Nets a play of the day. Okay, of course. Okay, I knew I got that one right. I wasn't switching on you because, in fact, I didn't even see that your comments until I said what. So I said my little mistake there. Thomas says Miami has a lot of injuries. Well, Kevin Love is questionable, but the key here is, look, Butler, it does feel like he could come back to this one. I'm not so sure of, but he might have to. Jaime Jaquez is out of this game. So if there's margin on it, you want to pass your medical. But if he can pass, and maybe it was a 50-50, if Jaquez was healthy, maybe Butler would actually take another day. But I don't know if he can here right now with Jaquez out with a groin injury, and it didn't look great. So could be out for a few games. Here's Airplane Boop. Oh, that was a previous game. So yeah, don't want to necessarily leave off the fact that those teams played. Okay, got it. All right, everybody's on the Nets. Okay, we don't have to spend too much time on that one. All right, Pacers and the Jazz. Hey, I really would like to thank the Jazz. I probably should send them some gifts at this point, and I'm not. I said gifts, not gifts. But they've been so good to us of late. The Utah Jazz. They've been like money in the bank, right? They've covered 5 straight. They've won 5 straight at home. But the Pacers, they've covered 5 straight on the road. This is a matchup of 2 pretty decent teams here. I think the Jazz, I think it's safe to say they're better than their 21-20 record at this point. Yeah, we have some issues with the Pacers here, obviously. But you know what? We've had some issues with the Pacers over the last couple of games. They still got the money last time against Denver. Credit to them. Now, they lost by 8. They were getting 10, but they're getting some points here with a Jazz team that, I don't know, can't say that they're trusted to lay 7. But, man, when you're 15-4 against the spread at home this season, like are the Utah Jazz, you have 2 teams that are red hot against the spread. You just have that Indiana factor where their star player is out, but they continue to battle, quite frankly, and do a decent job. So how do you address that, especially for you guys, that seem to really like the Stars? The bookmakers put a little monkey wrench in it here. Total's gone under in 5 straight Indiana games on the road. That is Indiana, of course. That's crazy because you think about how Indiana was such a massive over team all season, but as an underdog, uh, Indiana has 12 overs and 9 unders. Not as big of a discrepancy. Utah is 11-8 to the over at home, and they've been, like I said, covering machine over these last 5 games. Indiana won the first meeting between these two teams at home, 134 to 118 back on November the 18th. All right. See what you guys have in this one. The widely reported Steam did come in on the under. They hit this one at, I want to say, uh, obviously a pretty high number. I'm showing 246.5 there on the screen, but it's 245 now, 244.5. It's moved so much, I don't think I can feel comfortable even leaving that up there. I think 7 maybe is okay, but I'm seeing some 7.5s out there even right now. So what do you guys have here? Let me go to the comments and take a look. And Chad has Jazz first half. Kenny Jackson says Jazz are paying the bills. Doubles going over. And Thomas Lewis says ever since Peasy made the intro, the Jazz have been in a groove. In a grove now. Utah hot at home. Ray, he likes the under though, says maybe we're getting a little bit too happy with this big number here. Chad says, though, you can't lay it. Thomas says, I helped him. I think he says he's taking the Pacers. Right. And interesting. Thomas says, when you are playing better, maybe you use more of your energy when you're covering for top level guys. Is that how I'm reading this one? I think this one's going to be one of those high scoring, out of control games. Yeah, and that's a good point though, Chet. And how does it affect them? Not altitude to altitude, the worst one, right? They say the Denver to Utah. Yeah, and so they run out of gas. What happens though? Is it offensively or defensively? Because I disagree with that widely reported steam here, and I'm taking advantage of this. Now, I think I at least I can observe, right? This one was as high as 250.5. And maybe when the Pacers do fail, they fail offensively here, but it feels like the Jazz can score at will on these guys. Like this is going to be, yeah. Yeah, but can the offense keep up? So free play for me, my free play on the show is on the over. And again, these are the ones I admit I've missed a few here of late where I've tried to take advantage of these high scoring teams with the big drop, and the big drop has been the winning play, and I've dropped the play on the show. But I'm just trying to I'm a public handicapper. Okay, I've got. High scoring Jazz team, big time discount to a certain extent. We know the Pacers are a massively high scoring team without the big star. And other than that, though, this game is totally clear on injuries, right? Pretty much. I think there's one or two, if anything. But I'll take the over. All right, let's get to the Laker game. We got to move on. Thunder and Lakers here in this one. Lakers favored 1.5. Total 238 or so with the Lakers at home. Always know we know what the status is. In fact, I'm showing it down to a pick 'em here right now. Pick 'em already. It's not moving right now. I think I'm just a little late to the party. There we go. LeBron with an ankle injury. And the other thing was SGA questionable. But if that line is moving now to pick 'em, LeBron, I think the LeBron position is leaning towards in, but SGA I thought sounded like leaning towards out. He's questionable with a knee injury. Bertans is probable. We know Cam Reddish is out, and it looks like he's going to be out indefinitely with a knee injury. Not long term, but certainly for a little bit here. And SGA, though, the fact the lines move from as high as 2 down to a pick 'em or so, to me feels like maybe SGA is going to be in there here in this one. So he kind of cropped up there late last night, I thought, on the injured list, right? OKC's won 9 of their last 11 games right now. Lakers have gone under in 12 of their last 16 games at home. For OKC, this 4-game winning streak, including wins over Orlando, Portland, Miami, and Washington. The Lakers have lost 2 straight, failed to cover in 3 straight. They lost at Utah, 132 to 125. They do have a home win recently over Toronto, remember, 132-131, but they lost to Phoenix a couple of nights later by 18 points. Total's gone over in 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams. They've already met this season a couple of times, went over in both games. OKC lost to the Lakers at home, 129 to 100, while OKC won the November meeting 133 to 110, also at Oklahoma City. The Thunder 10-6-1 against the spread on the road. The Lakers have failed to cover in 7 of their last 10 games. Lakers at home 7-14 to the under. We mentioned 12 of their last 16 had gone under at home, so even more so of late. That math doesn't add up, but maybe my records are off. I better check that. All right, let's see what your comments are in this one, and get your play, and then we'll move on to a couple college games here I'm looking at. Jazz over here. Oh, thanks, Jeff and R. Tomps, for helping me out there if I missed the request. All right. A gamble here going over in this one. And Double says over, wants to get that injury report. Over for Ray Otachi as well. I'm right in line with you guys. A widely reported steam came in on the over. This is some steam that I'm likely willing to chase a little bit here. And if I'm going to do it, I better at least be fair and up the price, because I think we're seeing 238s, 238.5s here as it continues to go up. I want to go over in this one myself, despite that Lakers strong under. Lakers have been going over of late. I think when they're not favored, the Lakers tend to play higher scoring games. I think when the Lakers are favored, they are lower scoring games. Did I get them all here? Oh man, gamble. I might be the first gamble. I might be the first YouTube moderator to ban someone for talking about delicious food, because you're making me hungry. I would never do that, but you know what I mean. All right. I don't know, Chad. Feels a little bit desperate here for the Lakers a little bit to kind of get things back going. Remember, they have fallen back under 500 again here. Oklahoma really good, right, guys? I mean, okay, airplane boop. Money line, OKC. I've got the over. We got to look at some college games. Thank you, everybody. Bye, George. I've got the college card here. In this today, we had there's no doubt, guys. A little humility always. Okay, maybe I'm Mr. Humble on all those, but hey, come on, college plays right now on the show. We can't miss. It feels like, well, I mean, it's sports betting. We missed a few, but more winners yesterday. Plenty of winners here on the show, but just want to go over them. Georgetown and Connecticut over. We had the winner. Memphis State and Wichita. We gave out the over. It was a winner. Maryland, Illinois over. It was a winner. What am I doing with all those overs? I gave out yesterday. Liberty, Louisiana Tech over. That was a winner as well. So we are pretty hot on our college plays. Fine, and it's starting to roll again. You see me on the leaderboard there. College league play. All right. So there was some, non-conference. I get it. I'm never going to stop firing. But league play probably where we're at. And let's take a look at this one between GW and Mason. Today, this one goes off at 2 p.m. Eastern and 11 a.m. Pacific time. There was some widely reported steam that came in on this one. Hey, I know that Ohio State-Michigan game is early, but I do have a premium pick in that one, and I'll just do a little please, buy my pick on that game. It's a light card today, so Michigan. They're 6-10. I mean, I'm not going to preview that game, but I appreciate if you guys want to. Maybe I'll pick the total or something. I like the side. Anyways, Mason and Washington here in this one. You've got George Washington having won 7 of their last 8 games at home. Man, this feels pretty good right now as far as George Washington is concerned. The total's gone over in 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams at GW. GW comes in with a 13-3 record. Mason comes in at 13-4. Mason's covered 4 of their last 6 games on the road right now. However, they have lost 2 straight here. In conference play, they lost against VCU as a 4.5-point favorite. They also lost at Richmond as a 2.5-point underdog. George Washington comes in on a 2-game winning streak. They beat VCU 84-82 as an 11.5-point dog on the road. GW has been hot. They also beat Davidson as a 1.5-point favorite. They beat Davidson in their last game at home. George Washington's 3-1 as an underdog so far this season. 10-1 straight up at home so far right now. Mason's been good. They're good. Not only they've been good, they've been, postseason contenders a little bit too over the last several years. But hey, good to see this George Washington team kind of making a comeback. We talked about Coach Cooley, and we talked about that cover yesterday. We had, Connecticut. Talked about that Georgetown game. We had the total right, and I was on Georgetown privately, but this was where Cooley kind of made his name a little bit. So I don't know. It does feel like I want to try to keep the tide rolling here with GW a little bit. Really like what they've been up to in this one, and I'm gonna go ahead and take them here against Mason, getting the points. I also like the under in this game. I know the steam came in on the over, but hey, we've been hot. I'm gonna take both side and total here. Justin says he's on Mason, however, so we got a little challenge there maybe. You guys are all over Mason. Man, what was I thinking? Maybe I should have just went with the total. I was going on G-Dub. I said it before I checked out what you have, and now we've got Airplane Boop on the over. Ramon against the chat. Ugh. All right, hey, I'd say when the chat's been hot, I know who's been hot on the show in college ball. I can say that. It's all on YouTube. You can go check it out. We've been doing pretty good, but I'll go Washington and under, and you guys are Mason and over. That's okay. It'll just keep me interested in that game as the lead into the NFL game. Villanova's and Marquette. Villanova's at Marquette today. We're in a pretty hot matchup here, certainly, with Marquette and Coach Shaka against Villanova, and they've had their spots. Hey, what is up, you guys? This is a little bit off topic, but do we have Any Philly people in today? Villanova, that gold trim on their has that always been there this season? That's a little bit. I'm a uniform junkie, so Marquette's won 22 of their last 25 games at home. Total's also gone under in 6 of the last 7 Marquette games at home. Total's gone under in 4 of Villanova's last 5 games on the road. These two teams have been big time unders this season. Marquette's 5-11 to the under. They've gone under in 8 of their last 10. Villanova has gone under in 7 of their last 10 overall. Marquette's won the last 4 meetings between these two teams, including the last one here last February 1st, 73-64. They covered the spread as a 6.5 point favorite. Marquette has covered the spread in all 4 of those recent meetings between these two teams. The widely reported steam did come in on the over in this game. The Sharps came in at 143 or so, and currently, we're looking at the line of 145. Well, okay, let me bump that up. And the spread still 6, certainly here. It looks like to me. I think we can keep it at 6 at least. All right. For Villanova, they are 4-2 against the spread so far on the road. They are coming off of a win. We had a premium pick actually on Villanova over DePaul. We gave out a premium in that one, minus 15 points or 19 points, and they won it by 25 points. Marquette, they have lost 2 straight to Seton Hall and Butler. Interesting, those losing to those two teams. If you are Marquette, both teams come in 11-5 into this one. So, all right, what do you guys? Anything for you guys here? Oh, maybe some comments here. Jeff says Marquette by double figures in this one. Marquette to keep it rolling. Thomas maybe on Villanova here. And let's see. Justin says Marquette smacks here. They're off the back-to-back losses. Get healthy at home. Probably going to agree with you, Justin. I want Marquette here. Yep. That's my choice. Marquette over Villanova will lay these points. Gotta lay 6. Gotta lay 6.5 even here. I'll lay 6.5. No, they're all 6s. I can lay 6. All right. Justin said, I got a good number, Ramon. Don't go to bed early. And I didn't. I am. Okay. I've stumbled over some words. I'm a little tired. I watched a little tennis this morning. You guys, I love Australian Open tennis in the middle of the night. Hope I didn't wake up the neighbors watching the ladies' matches. All right. Iowa and Minnesota is our last game to look at here with the Hawkeyes on the road. You out there, Ari? Got to hear Ari's picks on this one. This is going to be the last game that I've scheduled up for us here to look at. So if you have any others, hurry up and get those requests in too. Here, Iowa's won 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams. Minnesota has won 5 straight games at home, where they usually have success. They've also covered 5 in a row at home. Iowa's gone over in 5 of their last 6 games on the road. They've been a big time over so far this season, have the Hawkeyes 12-4 to the over this season. Minnesota, bit of a at home, they are just 6 overs, 6 unders, but I will mention they have gone under in 3 straight, all in conference, and this number is obviously pretty high. Their game against Michigan, which had a total of 149, it was at Michigan. They did win 73-71 against a poor Michigan team at this point. but that one went for 144 points. Game against Maryland went for just 127. This is Iowa, though, and they've been going over in every game uh, of late. It seems like they just went over in conference wins over Nebraska, where they covered at home. They also covered at home against Rutgers in an over. They didn't fail on the road as a 5.5 point dog at Wisconsin. All right. Anything here? Minnesota. Here, a little discrepancy already in the chat. Thomas, maybe on Minnesota. Our Tomps, maybe on the Hawkeyes. It was Minnesota that took the widely reported steam in this one, mostly at a pick'em, and the Sharps also may have took over in this one by my records. They might have taken over 158.5. After all, this total now is actually at let me see here. 159. So maybe it's gone down just a tick. And Minnesota's I'm sorry, you guys. I obviously have this line. It's 3 now for the Gophers. Well, I did say they did take that widely reported steam. So maybe I'll just have to. I already was leaning Minnesota. Now with that extra tax, let me just see if there's any way I can look at the total here in this one as a better of a discount. Does feel like I want Minnesota though. Doesn't feel very comfortable, quite frankly, at 3 for a premium, but I'll take Minnesota to cover. Maybe you'd take the money line if you were totally listening to the Ramon confidence level on this game. I got to take some play. I kind of want to look to that over too, even at 159.5. Yeah, talked about the conference games for Minnesota, but Iowa doesn't seem to have any. They seem to have one speed. All right. Thanks a lot, you guys. Jeff, Iowa, and over on the road. All right. Let's go to hockey here. There's still a big card, and it's already 11 o'clock. So let's roll through it and get started with the puck. Big card for tonight, for today. Holiday action here with the Sharks. This is a time change from was originally scheduled at 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific, but now it'll go off at noon Eastern and 9 Pacific. Just what the Sharks need. They've been on this, long, massive road trip, and now they've got to get up early. They're probably adjusted body clockwise. If you ever can adjust body clockwise as a professional athlete traveling all over the place, but they have been on at least a little bit of East Coast swing time right now, having been on this road trip for a week now. Losses at Toronto and Ottawa. They did beat Montreal. For Buffalo, they are coming in off of a 1-0 loss. They played pretty tough against Vancouver, just could not score, but they've been playing pretty decent, certainly of late. They had won some games before that against Ottawa, against Pittsburgh, against Montreal. So maybe the Sharks here. Look, they're pretty. We know how bad they are. Certainly. Let me look. I don't think this line has gotten out of control though. For all these $4 favorites, whatever. This is still 270, 280 for the most part. There's even 265s out there, so it's a little higher than this price on screen. Total is about 6.5 over at -115. San Jose's gone over in 9 of their last 13 road games. They've been mostly an under team before that for most of the season. Giving up goals certainly in bunches, but they just don't have a very good offense. So the fact they're starting to go over and they're still not winning shows that they're giving up. They've given up 5 to Ottawa, 7 to Toronto. Did play that tough game against Winnipeg. Buffalo's won 17 of the last 21 meetings between these two teams. Buffalo, though, has got the puck line in 5 of the last 6 meetings. And Buffalo here let's see, 4 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone over. They don't meet that frequently. And I think I have my call. Maybe I should fire up the goalie computer here in case there are any changes. Yesterday, of course, just the 2 games in the NHL, so don't need a big review of the action. All right. And, well, I guess I'll just take another Buffalo puck line. I mean, feels easy at this point. I just saw a move come in on the under. Second time that thing's been hit to the low side. It doesn't look totally sound, but let me just take Buffalo on the puck line. It seems too easy, but and definitely a higher price than this. Buffalo on the puck line is going to be minus $1.15 or so today, I would think, at some of the highest prices possible. All right, Ray, Sharks puck line. R. Thompson wants the over in that game. And, doubles. See if I can get that at the end, sir. Missed that one with North Carolina A&T. Thank you. Gamble says go over in the game with the Sharks and the Sabres. All right. New Jersey at Boston here. We have Boston coming in at minus. Oh, where's my graphic here? Boston comes in here favored in this one minus $1.70. Total 6 over 20 for the most part. And in this one, Boston has won 7 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams. Boston has also won the last 5 games at home against New Jersey, obviously. That's where they're hosting here today and a pretty big favorite. Nonetheless, New Jersey's gone over in 5 of their last 6 games on the road. Boston's had some issues, some struggles, certainly of late. Yeah, they just beat St. Louis, but they won 4-3 in that one. On the road here, Boston comes home after a 4-game road trip, which saw them lose 3 of 4 games. Boston still 12-3 at home, but the Devils are 13-6 on the road. One of the better road teams around. They've also covered the puck line. Has New Jersey in 5 of their last 6 games. They're 11-9 on the puck line on the road. They're making you lay a little bit of a price here. Take that puck line, almost the same as the money line here, plus 1.5, minus $1.70. Might not feel that equitable to want to take New Jersey necessarily on the puck line here. So, all right, and see if you guys have anything with this one. And here is the Devils on the puck line for Ray. He wants to take New Jersey. Hello to Dave there today. Talking about the football from last night. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate that. New Jersey puck line here for Ken. Ray says that's a lot of juice on that puck line, right? Whenever you see that, it's almost the same price. Panger Life. Hey, Panger Life. Nice to see you, man. Good to see you here talking about that Bruins game. He's just a little behind us, but oh, no, we're not. This is the Bruins game. He's on the Bees on the puck line. Says the Bruins are getting healthier here in this one today. And they'll get back. Maybe what he's saying is because there's no doubt Boston's had some issues here of late with those losses, but don't know about the goalie situation. I don't think just yet. Hey, it is Kakkonen and Luukkonen in that Sabres and Sharks game. That's official. And in this one, see if we have No, we don't have it necessarily just yet. We know Olmark is questionable, so I would imagine probably get Swayman in here. But I'm starting to show Nico Dawes possibly here for New Jersey, maybe making a new. Hey, want to say hello to Boosting RGZ Dota. I know what that is. That's gaming. I know that. So he says, what do you think about the over in this game? Maybe I'll make that my pick. We got a new commenter in boosting RGZ Dota. So I think I should make the pick on the total. I do have a pick on it. And for me, I'm going to go over, just like it says right there. Obviously, I don't think you can get, well, you can. You obviously can get 5.5. And it's mostly 6, slightly juiced to the over. I would imagine 5.5 is going to be about minus $1.55 or so, maybe. But I will take over as my play in this game. All right. Boston over here, but airplane. Okay, Boston over there. Okay, keep it moving here with the Anaheim Ducks on the road against the Florida Panthers. Panthers playing great. Obviously, they're a $4 favorite here. I get it, but if anything, if I'm going to look at Anaheim in any situation, it's situations like this on the road where they seem to play just a little bit better. Now we saw Gibby leave the last game. I don't think he's going to be in goal today. I would think it will be Dostal. I'm actually gonna change it. One site is listing. Maybe he will be available, and Dostal's been getting more work, but Gibby is questionable. So, and Anaheim has other injury concerns a little bit as well, but they do seem to play better on the road. They get away from the situation and just have a little bit of better success. And at this price, I mean, I don't know. I'd probably want to try to find a way to get there, even if it's plus 2.5 goals. Anaheim's covered the puck line the last 5 of the last 6 trips here into Florida. Yeah, Florida's won 9 of the last 10 games and 5 straight overall in this series. Total's gone under in 7 of their last 10 games between these two teams. I would think that if Anaheim does score some goals, that they can stay within a goal and make this one actually go over. I'm not sure I buy into that trend necessarily in the matchup the way it's headed right now. These two teams are under teams, no doubt. Anaheim's gone 2-7-1 to the under their last 10. Florida's gone 3-7 to the under in their last 10, but I don't know. Give me the but. I'm going to take the Ducks here. I'll take them plus 1.5 on the show. Probably take them plus 2.5 a little bit too myself, because Panthers are just playing out of their minds. 27 wins. The Ducks have 27 losses. Ducks to cover for Dave. He likes them plus a puck and a half. Jeff says just lay the 400. Or no, lay the puck line here. Yeah, puck line minus $1.50-ish, I'd say. Airplane boop, Ducks puck line and under. Look, Ducks have already had one performance on this trip. Remember, they started against Nashville. I'll just say it like this. Rodney says there's too much volatility in daytime hockey games. Double says Anaheim is steaming down. The total is steaming down there, it looks like he means. But so Anaheim, remember they upset Nashville. That's a place where they've had a lot of success, right? I talk about hockey as a sport where the long-term trend does mean something, even with turnover, but it's just the way of the nature of the business in hockey to a certain extent. You got the 3 lines, you got team philosophies and things like that come into play. So Anaheim, they had success against Nashville long-term. They won that game. Carolina, Tampa, they've had a little bit, but when I say success, I mean just getting a puck line or two or an upset here or there. I mean, Anaheim's been pretty woeful for a few years. But in the games where they have success, such as this one, remember, they've covered 5 of the last 6 puck lines against Florida on the road here. So I'm on Anaheim here on the puck line and to grab a little 2.5 as well. All right. The red hot Vancouver Canucks. I could say the red hot Columbus Blue Jackets. They're not red hot, but they're red hot for us because we've been pounding that puck line with the Columbus Blue Jackets, and they've rewarded us. Now, of late, they've had two bad outings here against Seattle, against Winnipeg, so maybe they're starting to act like they're themselves. Vancouver's won five straight, and they've also won five straight. Well, on the road, they're on a long road trip. It should be of a little bit of concern here, actually. Uh, they've been winning. They've been getting it done, no doubt about it. Columbus has covered the puck line, however, in 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams. 4 out of the last 5 meetings between these two teams at Columbus have gone to the over. And these two teams, of course, play just a couple of times per year. They haven't met so far this season. Last year's game here was a 4-3 win for Columbus at home. Last season's game, I should say, not last year, but last season, October of 22. Columbus got the win here 4-3, but Vancouver, one of the talks of the league right now, certainly is one of the hottest teams in the league right now with a winning streak. Currently beat Buffalo by just a goal last time out. But again, this is a long road trip. Columbus has lost 3 straight. Mentioned those losses, Seattle, Winnipeg. They also lost to Minnesota. Okay, anything Vancouver and the Blue Jackets here for you guys. Canucks money line in the over for Airplane Boop. Salty Fly guys got a parlay here. And I've got the over in this one. I'm going over 6.5 goals at minus $1.30 or $1.35. It looks like here. Panger Life says Vancouver money line to keep it rolling. What is Panger's avatar? Oh, it's Kobe. Or is it all Kobe or is it? Yeah, it's all Kobe. Okay. All right. Do you remember where? I'll always remember where I was when I found, where I was when Kobe passed away, or found out when Kobe passed away. One of those guys, right? I mean, that pretty much says, you knew where you were when that person that happened or whatever. All right, keep it moving now with Seattle on the road at Pittsburgh. It's going to be tough for the Seahawks to go on and play the Steelers. All right, for the Penguins here at home. Seem to have lost my place. That's why I'm making dumb things. Okay, Penguins here at home, $1.45 in this one. Total 6 over 20. Let me take a look at that total because there's definitely been some back and forth movement in this one. I'm currently showing the line at Pittsburgh minus $1.45 or so, 6 over 15. So I think I can safely leave the price right there. Seattle has won 5 straight games. They've also covered the puck line in 5 straight games. Pittsburgh has covered the puck line, however, 8 of their last 11 games, including as a favorite in some of those contests. Pittsburgh's gone under in 4 of their last 6 games at home. But I think the big question here is, can Seattle win again? Obviously, I say 5. They've won more than 5, right? It's 10 straight, hasn't it? At this point, 9-0-1 at least. Maybe is it 5 straight on the road? That's what 5 straight on the road, 9-0-1 in the last 10. Woo, man, I was up late watching tennis. Bear with me on that one. But and now we got all this football. So Seattle on fire, right? So they've got hot, and they've got hot at the right time on the road. That's what we talked about with Seattle last year when they were playing on the road, playing well, making themselves into a playoff contender. And now they're up to 19 wins. Pittsburgh, 20 wins here. So a real good game. Boosting RGZ says, take the Kraken. Dave says, under in this one. Kraken puck line here for Kenny Jackson, plus 1.5. Probably laying too much to be comfortable for me at minus 200. At least giving it out away. Don't get me wrong, man. I am one of those guys. I will play plus 1.5, minus 200. Probably would never give it out as a pick, and you probably should still. Like I always like to say, I use everything in the arsenal. But I just try not to give out $2 favorites as a public handicapper. Hope that's respectable a little bit. Kraken in the under for Boop. So, all right, maybe we can cover just a little bit more, but Seattle's been so hot, as we mentioned. Pittsburgh's been good too. Don't want to slight them in this conversation. 5-2-3 in their last 10 games. Both teams been going way under of late. I mentioned Pittsburgh going under in 4 of their last 6. They've also gone under 12 of 20 at home, but 8 of their last 10 have gone under. Seattle, 8 of their last 10 have gone under as well. You saw David in there saying go under in this one. And I don't know, because I was wondering if I could possibly get on the under here with these two. I mean, it does seem like it with the way they're going, and Pittsburgh, certainly one of the better defensive teams in the league. I think they're 7th in goals allowed right now, and Seattle, I believe, is no, they're in the top 10 in the fewest goals allowed. Yeah, Salty, I think we are getting some good hockey picks in here today. Unfortunately, I can't seem to pull one out of my here on this one, but I am going to go over in this one. I know it's mostly 6. I know they're going under big time, but man, this thing at 6 right now, I'm going to go over. That feels pretty contrarian, actually. Especially considering Dave said under. All right. Right, Rodney? I mean, I can barely stay awake to do this podcast. And they got to get up and play a hockey game. Here's the Kings on the road against the Hurricanes. Kings have had a few issues here of late, no doubt, trying to get it back together here a little bit, but Carolina probably in a pretty good spot, playing pretty good right now. I've seen the talking heads already wanting to talk against my Kings here, that they'll get blown out because the Kings are having some struggles here with a long losing streak at this point that doesn't seem like it's going to end. Carolina has also beaten the Kings in 5 straight meetings, and 5 straight meetings here at home. They defeated the Kings. They've already met once this season. Back in October, Carolina won in LA 6-5. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone over. 4 out of the last 5 meetings between these two teams in Carolina have gone over. Not the same games, but over mostly in this series. The Kings have been going under big time because the offense is struggling. They've gone under in 8 of their last 10 games. Are also 6-14 to the under on the road. Carolina also they're nondescript on their totals a little bit. Carolina's gone, in addition to this hot streak right now that they're on with a couple of wins against Pittsburgh and Anaheim. They did lose to St. Louis, but won against Washington and the Rangers before that as they continue to roll 7-1-2 in their last 10 games. They're 12-3 at home this season. The Kings, of course, had that long winning streak. So talk about winning streak, that road winning streak. So maybe they were due to lose some here, but this is not the same Kings team that I talked up so big time earlier in the season, talking about Oh, greatest Kings team of all time. That's what I was saying. So, all right. Man, Dave and I are probably going to be disagreeing here again. I just worry about the Kings giving up goals at this point, and if it's going to be 6. I'm not one to say, hey, don't make it 2. It's still got to get over, but usually the games only land 5, 6, or 7. It feels like maybe this one will be 3-2. Maybe the Kings can't score. Oh, right, Thomas. I didn't know when I went under hypnosis. I didn't know if I was acting or was I really tired. I don't. Okay. Airplane Boop going under. R Tom's going under. You guys are going under, man. And I've got the over. Oh, well. It's okay. Give me the over in this one. Kings. Because I don't want to go against my Kings, but probably just bet against them on an emotional hedge. Here's the Predators taking on the Golden Knights tonight. 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific here in Vegas. In this one, with Vegas at home favored by $1.25. The Predators have been a little bit up and down of late, despite some of their successes right now. But certainly in this matchup today, you got Nashville having won 6 of their last 7 games on the road. In fact, they've won 2 straight. They're coming off uh, they've gone on the old Tony T road, home away road trip for like the last 2 weeks. They were at home against Calgary, they lost. They were at Dallas, they won. They were home against Anaheim, they lost. They were at Dallas, they won. Then they were at home against the Islanders, and now they're on the road. What is up with this schedule? This is doesn't this seems like about as bad of schedule making as it gets. Back and forth, up and down, home, away. What's going on? All right, total's gone under, and Vegas is 6 of Vegas's last 7 games, including 4 of their last 5 games here at home. Vegas lost to Calgary 3-1 last time out 2 nights ago. They also beat Boston 2-1 before that, but Vegas certainly has been up and down of late. In fact, they've lost 7 of their last 10 games, while Nashville 11-7 on the road. Vegas still 15-5 at home. Pretty cheap price here if you're looking at Vegas, but I don't know. The move has been clearly to Nashville here. I saw it as high as $1.45, maybe $1.45, maybe $1.50, but for the most part, move to Nashville here in this one. And I don't know, maybe they will. Feels like they will actually win this game. I'm going to probably do a double play here in this one. I'm going to take Nashville and the under at 6. That's okay. This is one where I will take it at 6. Vegas is 8-14 to the under at home, 3-7 to the under in their last 10 games. Predators big time over on the road, 13-6 to the over on the road, but I'm going to take this one under. Give me Nashville and under today. Any comments from you guys on this one? Kenny's on Nashville. Dave says take the Knights. Says I'll make a comeback. R. Thompson is on Vegas here. Ray is on Vegas. Jeff is on Vegas. So I'm against the guys here a little bit. Airplane Boop might be with me a little bit. And Thomas Lewis is out watching old Twilight Zone reruns. What's your favorite episode? There's so many, but my favorite one, Thomas, is when the guy goes to buy a newspaper. This is old Twilight Zone, Rod Serling, and he tosses the quarter in the box, and it lands on its side. And then for the next 24 hours, like this whole series of events happen in the Twilight Zone, and then he goes back the next day, and the quarter is still there, and he tosses in the next quarter, and it knocks it over and back on to his normal life. All right, here let's take a look at the Islanders and the Wild in this one. Now the poor Wild, can they get it together and get a win here to kind of resurrect things against? Well, I don't know. It feels like everybody wants to jump off the Islander bandwagon a little bit. Yeah, they lost to Nashville, but they still, 19 wins, even though they've lost 3 of their last 4 games overall. Uh, Let me get the graphic here up for the game anyway. Oh, we don't have the line. That's the problem. All right. Minnesota here, minus $1.15. It looks like a juiced 6.5 for the most part, but um, I'll put 6.5 under 25. There is some sixes out there. 6.5 under minus 125, I think feels like the consensus number a little bit. There we go. With Sorokin and Fleury, I've been doing a bad job on keeping up with our goalies. Don't really see any other confirmations. Jake Al. Oh, we're not even at that game. Okay. So I think we're okay with our goalie prognostications at this point. Let's just call it. I'll refresh it here. All right. Let's get into this one with the Island. We got to go, man. It's already 11:30, so let's keep rolling here in this one with the Islanders and the Wild. Get this show over with. Get you guys. Thank you guys. Still nearly 40 of you hanging out still with me for the hockey. Minnesota's won the last 5 meetings between these two teams. Islanders have covered the puck line in 11 of their last 15 games on the road, usually as a puck line dog, certainly. But here, that's too high of a price, certainly, to want to honestly be involved. But Minnesota, they're just in a terrible funk right now with 4 straight losses and just quite frankly not playing very well. 2-7-1 in their last 10 games. Islanders have gone over in 11 of their last 15 games on the road, but the Wild have gone under in 10 of their last 14 games at home. The Islanders are, of course, an over team, but Minnesota's been an over team too this season, just not of late. And as a favorite, they are 10-9 to the over, so that's nondescript. But pardon me, Islanders 13-7 to the over on the road. Hope I'm okay here. All right, not that chilly anymore. Minnesota 2-7-1 in their last 10 games. 13-3 as a favorite. Is that right? Let me make sure about that. They have a really wild dichotomy of favorite and underdog, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Minnesota 13-3 as a favorite, 4-17 as an underdog. Wow, that is crazy. That would almost put you on them right away here to a certain extent, especially when they've dominated the series so much. I don't know why people are kind of. I mean, I do know why, but the Islanders still have a pretty good record. But maybe Minnesota's going to get this one. I'm going to go ahead and take them here. Give me the Wild today to maybe shake this losing streak against a team that at least they've had some success against. All right, let's see what you got. Islanders money line in the over here. David likes the Islanders to cover at least the puck line, it sounds like, here in this one. And Salty, he calls them the Thailander. Everyone calls them Thailanders, but Ray going over here in this one. Great to have our GZ with us, taking the Islanders here. And Thomas hanging out in wealthy South Carolina neighborhoods, apparently. Because he's a baller. All right, a couple more here, and then I want to go, you guys. I think my voice is kind of losing out here for once. No one ever accused me of being too quiet. Got Colorado here in Montreal tonight. Colorado, big favorite on the road, certainly here in this one. You've got Colorado has beaten Montreal in 5 straight meetings between these two teams. 7 of the last 8 meetings between my Habs and the Avalanche have gone under the total. Montreal has covered the puck line in 12 of their last 16 games. Quite frequently as an underdog, but they're still nearly a 500 team this season. I've talked about, yeah, they're fading a little bit. I don't know. Montreal usually does take them not this long. They don't usually go this long, stay 500 in the last couple of decades or so. But Colorado's red hot right now, 8-1-1 in their last 10 games. They're coming out on a 3-game winning streak, wins over Toronto, Vegas, Boston for an impressive run here of late. Montreal's lost 3 straight to Philly, San Jose, and Edmonton. So I don't know. Feels like this is the day for my Canadians to hang in there. The widely reported steam came in on the Canadians, and that's probably the direction that I would go. I want to take the Canadians here. You guys in this one, I kind of want to play them as a premium, but it's hard for me to get the confidence up with the team not playing quite well enough to want to be totally. But hey, all these are all locks after all. I'll take Montreal 12-4, 12-4 puck line last 16 games, and it is minus $1.35. So a little bit of respect there. Have to lay a pretty significant favored price here for Montreal on the puck line. They are 26-12 on the puck line overall this season as an underdog, which would be pretty much almost every game. They've only been the puck line favorite 4 times. They lost all 4 of those, or they didn't cover the puck line in those. I know that. All right, Jeff's on Montreal puck line. Kenny's on the Colorado puck line. Ray just says, give me the under in this one. Last game here is the Flyers and the Blues. As this holiday card will be over early, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. No late action tonight on this card. You talk about puck lines. I mean, Philadelphia now, granted, the puck line here is north of $2, but Philadelphia has covered the puck line in 16 of their last 17 games on the road, usually every time as an underdog. They're 20-3 on the puck line on the road this season. They're competitive enough that I will tell you a lot of those are minus $2 favorites. In fact, today it's minus 255. But just to be clear, and a lot of times the prices have been less than this. This is about as high as it gets for the puck line. But again, 16-1, that equates to a much stronger line than 255. Now you got to take into account all the variances where maybe it, I mean, 16-1, that's like minus a couple thousand. That's like, minus 2,000 or something, right? But nonetheless, still a real strong streak of being competitive on the road, even when they were a bigger underdog than this. I mean, this is nearly a pick'em game where the line could easily flop and make the Flyers a puck line favorite, but I don't think so. It's actually up to $1.25 or so today. But just to be clear, if 255 is your thing, the Flyers have covered the puck line in 16 of their last 17 road games. That is a fact. And again, 20-3 on the puck line on the road. Pretty solid 8-2 against the puck line on the road in their last 10 games. So St. Louis, though, they're 8-1 on the puck line in their last 9 games at home. Now they are laying a goal and a half here as a 125 favorite in that. So these are very conflicting trends, but They're 13-8 on the puck line at home. They're not always a puck line favorite. As a puck line favorite, they are just 5-7, if you know what I mean, with the Blues. So, hey, maybe enough of the puck line. It's such a big price. Philly's gone under in 5 of their last 6 games, which is interesting. They've been an over for most of the season. They've been one of the biggest overs for most of the season. Or unders. Oh, this show's got to knock me out, you guys. I don't think I could take a nap with all this action today, but let me make it clear. They're 5 of their last 6 games have gone under. They've been one of the biggest unders of late. 7 of their last 10 have gone under. St. Louis has gone under in 8 of their last 10 so far. But both these teams, St. Louis is a favorite. They are 7-5 to the over, and Philly as a dog is 6-4 to the over. They're kind of like in the role where they usually go over, quite frankly. St. Louis is 13-7 straight up at home. You look at it as almost a pick'em game, kind of. And Philadelphia, they've been outstanding on the road. Really, it's been part of their secret success here to their great season so far. I'm starting to say great because when you're Philly at 23 wins, that's got to feel pretty good at this point. 23, 14, and 4 coming in. St. Louis, 21, 18, and 1 here. All right. And for me in this one, look, we got another one with a total here at 6. In fact, starting to see a little bit of juice to the under. I'm going over Philadelphia. I've got a lot of overs today in hockey. How many do I have? Is it a day for a grand salami? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think I can do the grand salami. 63.5. Now, it's a 10-game card. I've got maybe 7 of them going over, maybe 6. There's 2 of them I didn't give out here on the show. I wasn't sure. So, okay, I'm probably going to lay off the salami. What do you have here? And Ray on the under. Man, you guys are on unders on a lot of these games. I was on the over today. We'll see tomorrow. You guys come make fun of me, Chad style here. Airplane Boop. He lives in my head, I guess. Here's Airplane Boop, Flyers puck line. Kenny Jackson, Flyers money line. Sorry I missed your play there on the Montreal. Did I skip the Montreal? No, I got your guys' plays in there, didn't I? All right, you guys. Head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20% off all premium pick packages, including mine today. Hey, consider grabbing my 7-pack of games. You wondered where I was going with that? Grab my 7-pack of plays here in this one. I'll show you the games I'm on right now in that 7-pack. How about that? You can take a look here right here, right now. Let me see. Here they are. You can also buy them individually. But if you buy the 7-pack, they're all $19 if you buy a game individually. That's just what we charge here for a single play. Look, we expect players to play these premium picks. You're not going to pay a $19 play and go put, $100. You put a little bit more. You got to cover costs and everything. But here they are. Look at college basketball, Buckeyes in Michigan, NHL, Ducks and Panthers, college basketball, Harvard and Brown, NBA, Spurs and Hawks. I got Chicago State in there. I mean, hey, this is where you go to get the money. Bulls and Cavs, New Orleans and Nichols in there. So check out my 7-pack for just $25 over at Tony'sPicks.com. All right, this is the point where I scroll back and start to say everybody's name, but my voice ain't making it. So thanks a lot, everybody. Catch you tomorrow with more Morning Steam, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Central. We'll be back with previews for the action. We'll talk about what happened in the NFL. Just thank you to everybody here joining me in the show today. Pretty long show, but we had some good action. Enjoy the games today, everybody. For Tony'sPicks.com, I'm Ramon Scott.
can it be? Showing up with Tony T, yes, Ramon SEO. To the double TV funnel and these bookies like 1, 2, 3. They tapping out and we cashing out. It's plain to see. The morning steam is the A-team, Mr. T. And I pity the fools who can't hang. Coming with real game is sort of a freight train. It's been reported bank rolls are easy to maintain. So get situated and listen to the picks. And it goes a little something like this.